Have you ever wondered how we got from hunting mammoths to having avocados delivered to our doorstep? It's a wild story, and it all comes down to one thing. Agriculture? Today, we're diving deep into the incredible journey of how farming has shaped our world. So, what exactly is agriculture? At its core, it's the science and art of cultivating plants and raising animals. It's not just about food. It's about fiber, fuel, and so much more. Think about the clothes you're wearing or the wooden desk you're sitting at. Chances are, agriculture had a hand in it. It's the very foundation of civilization as we know it. Without a stable food supply, there would be no cities, no art, no internet, and definitely no YouTube. Agriculture is what allowed us to stop wandering and start building. But how did it all begin? Let's rewind the clock about 12,000 years to the end of the last ice age. Our ancestors were hunter-gatherers, constantly on the move, following herds and seasons. Life was tough, and survival was a full-time job. But as the climate warmed, something amazing happened. In a region we now call the Fertile Crescent, in the Middle East, people started to experiment. They noticed that seeds dropped on the ground would grow into plants. This simple observation was the spark that ignited the agricultural revolution. This wasn't an overnight change. It was a slow, gradual process. Early farmers began by cultivating wild grasses like wheat and barley. They selected the seeds from the best plants, ones that were tastiest, biggest, or easiest to harvest. Over generations, this selective breeding, or artificial selection, transformed wild plants into the domesticated crops we rely on today. At the same time, people began taming animals. Wild goats, sheep, and cattle were brought into the fold, providing a steady source of meat, milk, and labor. This was a game changer. For the first time, humans had a reliable food source right outside their door. This newfound food security led to permanent settlements. Villagers grew into towns, and towns grew into the first cities. With people no longer spending all their time searching for food, they could specialize in other skills. We see the rise of potters, weavers, builders, and priests. This division of labor led to complex societies, governments, and written language, all because we figured out how to farm. From the Fertile Crescent, agriculture spread across the globe, but it also developed independently in other places. In China, farmers domesticated rice and millet along the Yellow and Yangtze rivers. In the Americas, communities cultivated maize, beans, and squash. Each region developed unique farming techniques and crops suited to its own environment. For example, in the Andes Mountains of South America, the Incas built incredible terrace farms on steep slopes, a marvel of engineering that we can still see today. As civilizations expanded, so did agricultural innovation. The ancient Egyptians harnessed the annual flooding of the Nile River, creating a rich, fertile floodplain, perfect for growing crops. The Romans were masters of organization, developing large-scale farming estates called latifundia, and building aqueducts to irrigate their fields. They even wrote extensive manuals on the best farming practices. Moving into the Middle Ages in Europe, the feudal system tied peasants to the land. Progress was slow, but important innovations still emerged, like the heavy plow, which could turn over the dense clay soils of northern Europe, and the three-field system of crop rotation, which improved soil fertility and increased yields. These might sound like small changes, but they had a huge impact on food production and population growth. Then came the British agricultural revolution in the 18th century. This was a period of intense innovation. Thinkers like Jethro Tull invented the seed drill, which planted seeds in neat rows, making them more efficient and easier to weed. The concept of enclosing common land into private fields encouraged farmers to invest in improving their land. New crops like turnips and clover were introduced to restore soil nutrients and provide fodder for livestock. These advancements created a food surplus that fueled the Industrial Revolution, freeing up workers to move to cities and power the new factories. The 20th century brought changes on a scale never seen before. The Green Revolution, starting in the mid-1900s, was all about science and technology. Scientists like Norman Borlaug developed high-yield varieties of wheat and rice, combined with synthetic fertilizers, pesticides, and expanded irrigation. These new crops dramatically increased food production around the world, saving millions from starvation. This era also saw the mechanization of farming on a massive scale. Tractors replaced horses, and massive combine harvesters could do the work of hundreds of people. Farming became a high-tech industry. And that brings us to today. We live in an age of incredible agricultural technology. We have precision agriculture, which uses GPS, sensors, and drones to manage crops with pinpoint accuracy, reducing waste and environmental impact. We have genetic engineering, which allows us to create crops that are resistant to pests, drought, or disease. Vertical farms are sprouting up in cities, growing produce indoors under LED lights, using a fraction of the water and land of traditional farms. But our modern agricultural system also faces huge challenges. How do we feed a growing global population, expected to reach nearly 10 billion by 2050? How do we do that sustainably, without further damaging our planet? Issues like soil degradation, water scarcity, and climate change are putting immense pressure on our food systems. The future of agriculture will require all our ingenuity. It'll likely involve a mix of approaches, cutting-edge tech like AI-driven farming and gene editing, but also a return to older ideas like regenerative agriculture, which focuses on improving soil health and biodiversity. It's about finding a balance between producing enough food and protecting the planet that sustains us. So, from a handful of seeds planted in the Fertile Crescent to the complex global network we have today, the story of agriculture is the story of humanity. It's a tale of innovation, adaptation, and our enduring connection to the land. Every meal we eat is a part of that incredible history. Thanks so much for watching this journey through time with us. If you found this interesting, do you want to forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the topics that shape our world. See you in the next video.